Hey guys, and welcome back to another video. In this video, we'll be doing the BBL SuperCoach preview for the 25-26 season for that of the Perth Scorchers. And they kind of have that nagging fixture. We'll get into it a little bit, but I'll just leave it at that. They have a nagging fixture. They have an international bowler that isn't going to be there until the end of the ILT20. Which is another nuisance, whatever you want to call it. So they have an intriguing one, and it's probably a video here or a schedule for them that can be seen and taken in so many different directions, comparative to the sort of Renegade Strikers ones where you're like, yep, just grab them when I need them in the round 7, 8, etc. When they're actually on their double, or the Sixers, Thunder, Hobart Hurricanes sort of ones, even Brisbane Heat, I believe, have the round 2 double. Yeah, so those 4 teams have the round 2 double where you're like, got to grab them now in my starting side, or at least to a certain extent, obviously with the round 1s, etc. Whereas the Perth Scorchers being that middle ground, there's 5 teams that will already have done a double before them. Hobart is on, will have done 2 doubles before them. So, and they don't really have that really extremely large gap before they double in round 7, 8 that the likes of Strikers Renegades do. So they're kind of just in the middling ground. But anyway, before we jump into this video, remember to like and subscribe, turn the notification bell on, as we have a heap more content coming to you with more fixture analysis. We'll go through batters, bowlers, wicketkeepers exclusively, and then we will also do the hidden gems as well as the primos, which ones to have, etc. But anyway, let's jump into this one here. So first of all, we start the usual with the predicted starting 11s for that of the Perth Scorchers. So you've got here starting up Finn Allen. He's one that he's starting to come into conversations, I would say, for that wicketkeeper slot, just because of the price point. And on a double, the wicketkeeper slot, I'm not looking to spend up on. I'm looking sub 90k. I'm not even looking at Philippe, just because that can be rectified with Ben McDermott. So I'm really looking sub 90k at this point. And you've got guys like McDermott, Bancroft, Clark, and Finn Allen that have all come into sort of this thought process, because Finn Allen, if he gets a 20 off 10 and then gets 1 catch, that's a 55 pointer. That is a huge, that's huge. So I'm just looking at that going, even though this Perth side isn't that good in terms of their sort of bowling depth, they've lost AJ Ty. They've also lost the likes of Jason Berendorf. I still think they will do pretty well. They'll probably still finish about 5th or 6th. But yeah, I really do think that the likes of Finn Allen we've seen it. He went and scored, and we'll go through it when we get to their portion of going through the BBL stats. He would have scored in that 3-game run or something like that, or a 4-game run where he went like 15 with the bat, 10 with the bat, and then 50, 70, whatever. He would have scored a good 200 points in 4 games, which was huge. So we'll get to that later, but you can see the thought process there. Mitch Marsh, you've got quite a lot of all-rounders here. Obviously, they've got the 4 bowlers in Agar, Richardson, Kelly, and Beardman. They don't have, and David Payne is out till January, as we said, which leaves a 5th and 6th sort of bowling slot, and that could be Mitch Marsh. The good thing, the luxury that we have, him at 117k is probably not going to get away from us, firstly. Secondly, we get an option to see what they're doing with Hardy and Connolly, because I would like to see that, because as you can see, 4 bowlers plus the 3 all-rounders. Who's going to get the overs? Is it going to be Marsh? Is it going to be Hardy? Is it going to be Connolly? Marsh, at his price point, I'm probably just going to stay. I can wait you out. Hardy, 74k. He should be nailed on. We'll look at him later as well, again in more depth, to show you why he should be nailed on. But if he's in any frame of form, any semblance of form, he'll be outpricing his MB value. He'll be outpricing his starting price, and that is value. So him at 74k or something dumb like that, you got to pick him. Cooper Connolly, inflated price. late double. I think it's a miss for the moment, but he will be the one that you grab up, the big one on their double in round 4, as I believe they have an exclusive double. They don't have anyone partnering them. So that'll mean that we will be targeting, honestly, in their double, I wouldn't be shocked. Most of us will have Hardy, so let's just take that as a given. We will be probably targeting Marsh, Connolly, and then probably Jai Richardson or Ash Nagar, depending on where they play their double. I haven't exactly seen where they're playing it. We'll get into that later as well, but you can see the thought process there. Then Turner, he was valued last year. Basically what Hardy is this year is what Turner was last year. The proof's in the pudding almost in a way, and that Hardy should be a good op. Then you got Laurie Evans at number 6, just belts the ball, but just, yeah, no value there with the fixture. Hobson at 7, pretty much the same thought process applies. He's still going to score all right, but just not going to be game breaking. And that's kind of what you need in super coaches. You want those guys that are just super extra value, and he just isn't. Agar could be interesting in their double. Always seems to go all right. Haven't done a deep dive on his stats in reality, but I think he's one that most people will be gravitating towards when their double comes out, just because, or when their double week is, just because we've seen the value in the past. We know his capability, I would say, to go large, both with bat, ball, and he's a damn good fielder as well. So when you can get all 3 elements on a double, get almost 6 scoring opportunities, you take it. Jai Richardson, probably can't say the same about his fielding, given that he still, I think, bowls it in from the boundary, but definitely up there with bowling. I mean, he's bowled so far this summer for club cricket. I think it's either 26 or 28 overs. It's either 10-8-8 or 10-10-8. I think it's 26 though, and he's taken 3 for. So he hasn't set the world alight, but he's getting through overs, which is perfect. So I think he's one that we'll be able to watch early on. I don't know his exact price because he hasn't sort of been in my plans as of yet, but we'll get to that in a second. We'll look at his exact price and we'll make a decision from there. Kelly and Beardman. Beardman will be an interesting one. If they did have the early double, I think I'd be more inclined, but usually value starts to wash out very, very quickly. So he's not going to be a value play by the time that their double rolls around. And is he going to be that top liner that you want that is going to score really well? So he may be a cash cow. He just might come at an awkward time period for the cash cow. So yeah, there's that there. Then, well, that's their 11. Let's go on to their fixturing. And they have a pretty bland fixture this year with the double in round 4. And that's it. Just one double in round 4. So we will be targeting them for round 4 and then probably offloading them. I don't think many of us will hold many of them. You may hold a Marsh or a Hardy or a Connolly on singles, but aside from that, you're probably moving them on. So that is the fixture. That is the first 11 or the predicted 11. And now let's go to coach's choice and then go highest to lowest and go from here. So Cooper Connolly, 188.4k. That's a pretty hefty fee for a guy that will play. And I'm just going to quickly, before, and I will jump back to it, I just want to see where their games are in the lead up. So Optus round 1, then they've got the Gabba in round 2, round 3 they've got Optus, and round 4 they've got NG and Ninja. Okay, that is interesting. It's interesting to me that they've got round 4 at those 2 stadiums in NG and Ninja. And it rings a bell to me, or at least something in me, that those 2 grounds are going to be all right for Ash Nagar. So that's why I have that sort of thought process there when looking at that fixture. But anyway, back to it. Cooper Connolly, you're going to buy him in round 4. Simply as that. He's going to do well. I have a good suspicion there. And 31% owned already. There's better value out there. I'd rather go with Dwarcius and someone else than spend an extra 40k for Connolly to get 1 less game. Even though he's a bat bowl and he's going to get overs, he's going to probably get 3, I would suggest, maybe 2 2 or 3. But yeah, I just don't see the value early on this year. Jai Richardson, 144k, averaged 54 last year. Year before that, 30, and the year before that, 79. The year before that, didn't play. Year before that, 64. The year before that, 58. Year before that, 68, and then 55 the year before that. So you can see he scores basically whenever he plays, other than this 30.5, which they price fixed last year at like 50 something. But anyway, 54 break even. I think he can outdo that. I think he can go in the sort of 60 range, low 60s. I mean, if we look at his figures, 8 wickets last year in 5 games. I think he's going to do something similar to that as well. I think he can probably put up more runs with the bat. We've seen in previous years, if we go to 22, 23, 21, 22, 0 runs with the bat. 2021, he put up 96 runs with the bat, including 50 bonus points there. So that's where he scored quite a few points. And it got a massive economy rate bonus there as well. The year before that, 75 runs, and then 33 strike rate. That was when they had the awkward system, and then 20 runs there. So he has known to be able to pick up a blade and score he probably will have that occasional 1 innings of 20 where he does score massive strike rate bonus, which will be big. So I think he's going to be one that we potentially target on the double. You may even want to target maybe 4 guys on their double. Or try and get up to the 5th guy on their double, because that could be huge. Weather dependent, honestly, because that is around January and in Sydney. I think maybe a little bit before January. This might be in the Boxing Day region. Yeah, I just think that the light of Richardson will be huge throughout the season. I just can't come to start him at this point in time, but it's good to see that he's getting the overs under his belt. Paris, I actually don't have playing. I think he could play over the likes of Kelly in the side that I did have up on screen earlier, but just don't have him playing. Think that Marley Bieber might just take over that role. Now, Ashnagar, as I said, alluded to, I'm intrigued about this on the double. I'm intrigued about it on the double because if we look at this, this is probably going to prove me completely wrong. NG Stadium, 1 game, 62. Now, what does he average at? Has he not played at, not Metricon, not Marvel, not Monica? Has he not played down in Hobart? What's that called? Ninja Stadium. Has he not played there? That's intriguing that he hasn't played at Ninja Stadium yet. But you can see at most grounds he averages actually pretty well. Most grounds other than Adelaide Oval and Monica he struggles against, but that's only on 1 game. But yeah, he does really well at pretty much every single track except for the SCG somehow. Don't know why. Struggles there. But yeah, he does pretty well everywhere. Versus opponents as well. He does really well against the Heat and the Hurricanes. And then pretty decently against the Thunder. Only struggles against the Strikers and the Sixers. But he has the likes of Hobart, where he averages 58, and Thunder, where he averages 55, to play in the double. So that's why I say he is an interesting pick on the double. On spin-friendly pitches against matchups he likes. Mitch Marsh, this one will be an interesting discussion to be had. 24-25, 0 games. The year before that, 0 games. The year before that, 0 games. The year before that, 106.2 from 6 games. The year before that, 42. The year before that, 57, and so on and so on. But you can see he's had 2 bumper years where he just went absolutely nuts. And that's where the appeal comes from. So if we just look at this 21-22 campaign, we scored 314 runs in 6 games, which is quite ludicrous. If we look at his other one, it was 210 runs in like 5 games and 3 wickets as well. So he's one that I'm probably going to pick up in the double. I just want to see how he goes. Just because there is most likely value there, and I've had him in my squad at moments. It's just, you got to take, BBL SuperCoach is so much a format of just taking advantage of the fixture, and the fixture is just not in their favor this year. Payne is one guy that I wish was going to be here for their double, but isn't, so isn't going to be valuable. Fanning, just don't think he plays unless they go with one less bowler because they have faith in Marsh, Cooper Conley, and Hardy. Don't think that's going to be the case. Turner was valued last year, isn't going to be valued this year. I mean, he did average, plus 18 or something on his price point. It was priced at like 70k last year, which would have been like 23 or something. So he went like plus 20 on his price point, which is huge. So that's what Hardy could do easily. Josh Inglis just isn't going to... He could. Have I just missed him in my lineup? Or is he just going to be in and around the test squad to the point that it's going to be annoying and he's not going to be... He could play, which would then knock probably Hobson out of the side you'd expect. Because then they just put Laurie Evans at number 7, which would be quite crazy. But yeah, could see that happening in Josh Inglis coming in, but I don't think so. Because I think he'll be with the Aussies in case of an in case of a Carey injury. And then Finn Allen is the keeper that I'm looking at, tracking, just seeing his form. It looks all right. I believe I've got it here in terms of PSL, 39.8, 213 runs, but it's this MLC that's down here at the bottom that I'm intrigued about. And this is the damage that can be done. 55.3. He scored 333 runs. Strike rate bonus, 95 strike rate bonus in 9 games is huge. And then 3 catches as well. And if we look at him, and I remember saying this in the preview, we'd look at this 3-game run or 3-game run that he had where he went absolutely off, and it was frustrating. It was annoying not owning, but he went 85, 113, 49. Now that is, what's that? 162, 280, 242, 247 in 3 games. I believe there was a double round in there. Could be wrong, but yeah, he went off and it was annoying. So that was frustrating. I believe that there was a double round in there, just looking at it. But yeah, I didn't own, and he was basically min price. And so I think that he will... He probably goes an average of about 40, 45 this year, in line with most keepers. And that gets him, well, roughly in the end, his break even is 32. So it only gets him about 20k cash generation. But that 20k cash generation will be huge in the scheme of things, given how tight we are for cash generation this year, it looks like. But yeah, that is my thinking behind Finn Allen. Beardman, 85.3k as well. Same sort of premise. I know he averaged 64, but that's a 3-game sample size. I think he just went off in a couple games. If we just look here, you can see in the double there, he took 6 wickets, 3 each, I think. And then as well as had 30 economy rate bonus, 20 wicket, so 2 3-fers in those games. Had 8 dot balls, and then had 15 economy rate bonus in probably both games, and then a catch as well. So just a lot of scoring in 2 games. So I don't think that the likes of Beerman will be too valuable this at the start, I would say, just because they don't have that double. It is all that it waters down to. Laurie Evans, 81k, don't think he's valuable. Matt Kelly, don't think he's valuable. Then we get to probably the last guy to talk about, Aaron Hardy. I didn't really think a couple of years ago when we saw this one here, 57, we saw 34, we saw 60. So we saw a 57 and then a 60 average, that he would be priced 15k more than his average in points. Was. So yeah, 60 points, and then add 15 and turn that into K for thousands. I didn't think he'd be priced at that, given that we've seen he's been priced at 178, 177 the last 2 years. So yeah, I just don't see it with him being that price point. To be completely honest with you, can't believe it. So yeah, this is one that we just take advantage of. 74k. Wow. Yeah, he basically has to do some fundamental stuff up, I think, to average that again. Like 148, and he wasn't bowling, which basically wasn't bowling. And I think he's been back to bowling. So that should automatically, in 10 games, take 5 wickets per game, let's just say. That'll automatically add roughly 10, 15 points per game, just him back bowling. And then if he's any semblance of a batter that we've seen previously, he could add 30 points very easily onto what he's priced at 28. That's how good this is. He could double his value, basically. So these are the type of picks that you just got to probably, even if you find a way that he just isn't going to be value to you, you kind of just have to go with the crowd because these are the type of picks that can break the game open, the type of value that Hardy possesses, because he could be a guy, basically, that from a rookie turns into a primo, and that you can trade him off very easily, and that could be your way to get the shorts, the Maxwells, etc., when it comes time to getting them in the later rounds. And then Hobson probably won't have an impact, and then they've got Couch and Jackson. But anyway, that is the video there going through the Perth Scorchers. Not the most notable BBL SuperCoach preview, given that they have that round 4 bye. Not bye, but the round 4 double. But anyway, if you guys did enjoy, remember to like and subscribe and turn the notification bell on, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye, guys.